Find the greatest common factor and least common multiple of A, B, and C. So now they're giving us letters instead of numbers. But the same game remains. Remember what we do? We have to line them up vertically, don't we? So let me get a chart here and let's just start lining them up. So I'm going to line them up. We have A, that'll be a spot for A, B, C, D, and E. And then we'll have A going right here, B going right there, C going right there, and then we'll have the GCF and LCM. Okay, so here we go first with A. A will equal A to the 5th, B squared, C, and D. Next I'm going to do B. Capital B equals little b to the 6th, c to the 5th, d to the 4th, e to the 3rd. Capital C equals a to the 2nd, c to the 7th, d to the 3rd, and e to the 6th. Okay, now how do we find the GCF? Remember GCF? It's the smallest power for each prime. So the GCF will equal, so when it comes, you just go prime by prime. So when it comes to A's, what's the smallest amount of A's somebody has? None. Because the B has no A's, right? Whoop, what am I writing? None. How about when it comes to the B's? What's the smallest amount, smallest power somebody has? Well, none. The C, the capital C right here, has no B's. So that's another no. How about when it comes to C's? What's the smallest power somebody has? Well, it's just a single C, isn't it? Put it like that, right? It's this guy right here. Okay, when it comes to D's, what's the smallest power somebody has? It's this one, a single D, right? A single D right there. And when it comes, sorry, I'm making that float all over the place. When it comes to E's, what's the smallest power somebody has right there? None. None. So what do we end up with? C times D, right? We just have a C and a D. That's the GCF, C times D. Finally, let's do the LCM. Remember, LCM is always the highest power for each. So the LCM, so when it comes to A's, what's the highest power you see? Well, A to the 5th, right there. When it comes to B's, what's the highest power you see? B to the 6th, right there. When it comes to C's, what is the highest power you see? C to the 7th, right there. When it comes to D's, what is the highest power you see? D to the 4th, right there. When it comes to E's, what is the highest power you see? E to the 6th, right there. So the LCM is A to the 5th times B to the 6th times C to the 7th times D to the 4th times E to the 6th. And the GCF was just C times D. So there we go. That's getting to the fundamental concept of what a GCF is and what an LCM is. For the GCF, you take the smallest power for each. For the LCM, you take the highest power for each.